Welcome, everyone. Now, this session got me genuinely excited. With rising marketing costs and higher compliance around client acquisition, affiliates and IBs are evolving fast, from being seen as a middleman to real strategic growth partners. This session brings together industry experts and leaders to discuss how this transformation is happening and what comes next. Leading the conversation is Pere Monguió. Did I pronounce it okay?
Pere Monguió.
Okay, from FXStreet. Let's give a big welcome to Pere and to his panelists.
Thank you everyone. So today we will explore how the affiliate and AB model is evolving. And to do that, I have here with me three experts in the field. First we have Yoli. She is Deriv's head of marketing. Before that, she led online marketing efforts at Microsoft. Okay, but please, at the Q&A session later in the panel, ask her about Deriv and her partners, her affiliates partnership models, not about how to reboot your PC, okay? That's for another panel. Then I have here with me Yiota. She's the COO of Spotware, the owner of C-Trader, a well-known platform. She was promoted recently, so congratulations and best of luck. Best of luck with this new challenge. And Yiota comes from the customer success side of the business, which I'm sure you have a wealth of knowledge on customers' needs that you may share with us. And finally, Paolo, sales leader at AdRoll, where he supports brokerages in their acquisition efforts. Welcome, Paolo.
Thank you.
So let's get to it, because, well, the landscape is more complex than ever and evolving really, really fast. First, I would like to focus on the current situation and the context that we have. We have higher acquisition costs, tighter compliance, growing pressure on return on investments. So let's start with the first question for Yiota, for example. Where do you see the biggest disconnect between brokers and partners today?
Okay. So thank you everyone for being here. To answer your question, I believe there's a big difference between brokers' expectations and partners' enablement. And what I mean, brokers expect their partners to bring in high quality, compliant, high converting traffic, but it's not very often that they actually provide the tools to brokers to do so. So we have a lack, a gap between expectations and enablement. Also, I believe there's a lack of shared visibility. So with most outdated referral tools, the attribution data is actually only shared on a broker's CRM. So a partner many times doesn't have real-time visibility on what is going on. We know that partners focus on short-term conversions, on many signups. And brokers, on the other hand, they want higher trading volumes, they want higher lifetime value. So the thing is that with the absence of mutual transparent data, the two sides actually work blindly. We need to find a way to bridge the two so that they can have access to the same data, and also find more channels through which feedback can actually flow from the partner back to the broker, so that the broker can use the feedback from the traders and optimize his processes, offerings. So at C-Trader, we have a solution, which I would like to describe to you later in the panel as we go. So thank you.
Thank you, Yiota. So bridging expectations and providing a better visibility. Yoli, in your opinion, what are the major trends shaping the sector right now?
Yeah, so thank you everybody for attending. We believe at Deriv, we have a very robust affiliate program that supports about 117,000 partners. And given the headwinds that we are all facing, as you mentioned, rising ad costs, it's important that we have a shared definition of success. A lot of what Yiota alluded to. So we have to move from volume to value, and we as brokers need to be able to provide that transparency. So in our reporting, we really make sure that partners have access to real-time data. They're out there marketing. Sometimes they're much more sophisticated marketers than we are. They want to know that what they're doing is working. So not only providing access to that data, but also a feedback loop in terms of what marketing strategies are working out there. So we have hundreds of events that we do across 190 countries. And part of those are actually in person, being able to facilitate that feedback loop of understanding what's working for our affiliates and what's working for our partners, what they would like to see us improve. So that becomes really important. And understanding sometimes there's certain geographies and certain partners in certain geographies that have cracked the code on a particular channel, and being able to facilitate that shared knowledge is also important.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think moving from a traditional CPA model to more hybrid commission structure is also really important, because then what happens is affiliate partners are able to focus more on conversions, and that is a shared goal, because as brokers we are interested in making sure that we get our clients to first-time deposit and actively engaged. So at a high level, I think shared goals that move from volume to value.
Yeah. And yeah, Paolo, in this idea of aiming for quality rather than quantity, what does a high-quality lead look like today from your side of the business?
It really depends on the definition of quality, and it varies so vastly between brokers that we work with. AdRoll is an advertising platform. We work with some of the biggest Forex brokers globally, and we've got a really strong customer base here in Limassol, thankfully, as well as in APAC. The definition of a customer really changes from market to market and from customer to customer. What we try to do is align a lot of what you were saying, Yoli and Yiota, about the attribution around the effect that advertising is having on conversions. You know, we know, for example, that in e-commerce, it takes roughly 56 impressions of an ad to convert a user. On average, it takes roughly 7 days. So think about it. You put something into the cart, you're going to buy a pair of sneakers, it's abandoned, you're shown an ad, and that affects your purchase decision in a very short window of time. With the Forex space, it takes roughly 138 ad impressions to make somebody make a first-time deposit or to sign up for an account. Conversely, that window of period of consideration is actually 56 days, so it's quite a lot longer than the 7. So as marketeers and as industry leaders, we really need to start thinking about what is the path to conversion and how do we nurture our audiences through consideration and then negotiation and then down through to purchase as well. And how can we segment our audiences and show them relevant targeted ads? Personalization is now table stakes. It's a must do.
Good. Yeah, so there are plenty of challenges. Let's delve deeper into them. You mentioned, Yoli, about the rising costs. I would say also maybe compliance is getting trickier.
Yes.
How do new compliance rules impact affiliate and IB onboarding?
Well, with compliance, it's really important internally within the organization that we really understand in each jurisdiction what the regulations are. But for the client's customer journey, that needs to be very seamless. So automating compliance and using technology to automate that journey and make sure that funnel is seamless for the client. On the partner side, they need to be as educated about compliance rules and regulations. And to some extent, we can help on our end through our education efforts. But they also need to see it as a vested interest for them to make sure that they're fully knowledgeable as partners about what the compliance regulations are from an advertising perspective, and also jurisdictionally in terms of who they're targeting, where they're targeting, because some of them target multiple geos, etc. So I would say, we need to enable them with the right education, the right information. We need to use technology in our journeys to automate compliance, and we need to make it so that the partners see it as it's a value add for them to be as educated.
Yeah, so educating partners and having this automation helping a more seamless process. But for this, I guess that you need trust, no, between both sides.
Absolutely.
How do you manage this trust between partners and brokers?
I can add to that. We have relationship managers in each jurisdiction, and they're essentially account managers, and they have relationships with the partners, and they are accessible, and they are actively reaching out and developing relationships with them. So I would say the mindset has moved from a sort of sales org to more of a relationship management org, and then it's up to us to sort of facilitate that. And it's also being community driven. We're working with a lot of influencers, and we see that in this space that is a key channel of go-to-market. But those influencers, it's not just a one and done. It's really about developing an ongoing relationship to support the education, to support their success. We have to see partner success as our success.
That's very important. More ideas about how to manage trust? If not, we were talking about rising digital ad costs. How are you seeing this impacting partner ROI and broker expectations?
Yeah, I mean, we see it every day. The cost of advertising is increasing. There's been a movement over the last 20 years from traditional media channels to online because it's more attributable. Somebody sees an ad and you can say within a window of 12 hours, somebody went ahead and signed up or made a first-time deposit. A lot of the challenges that we're helping brands overcome is around reach. Our data shows that anywhere between 85 to 90% of traders fail within the first 2 years. So constantly topping up that funnel and enabling you to drive net new traders into the top of your marketing mix will mean that you will be able to continue the growth trajectory that you guys are expecting as brokers. I think that the rising cost of media globally certainly is something that has a lot of industries spooked, not just Forex, but within a programmatic environment, you're bidding in real time against your competitors. And if you're serving the right ad to the right user at the right time, it's worth that impression to serve them.
Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about the problems, the challenges. Let's look more now to the solutions. Yiota, for example, how are you addressing all these challenges in your organization?
Okay, first of all, I would like to say here that we all know that StreetTrader is a trading platform, and our motto, our philosophy is traders first. So this is not just our philosophy, it's actually our operational compass. It's the center of alignment around with everything, the center of everything we do. Okay, so all the tools that we build, we do so having in mind what the trader and the client, who is our partner, needs. So let's look at general referral systems. Usually a partner has to register in a broker's IB program, right? Get a broker referral link, manually set it up, which you might not manage, and then he uses generic links, no real value attached to them, to attract traders, correct? The generic nature of this link minimizes actually the likelihood of a trader actually acting upon this link and engage. Also, if this trader finally gets attributed, this data will be reflected only in the broker's CRM and delayed most of the time, which means that a lot of information is being missed and the partner and broker are not aligned. So at CTrader, we have upgraded our CTrader invite, which is an all-in-one partner toolkit to address all those issues that I mentioned. So what it does, it basically encompasses the partner functionality directly within the trading journey. So a partner can go as a trader in CTrader and use any CTrader product, like an attractive copy trading strategy, like an indicator, a CBOT, and disseminate it to the people he would like to invite. So those invite links are actually powerful product-backed links. They are powerful calls to action. So they are more likely to engage a trader, right? It's a product. I'm not asking you to engage with a broker only. I'm asking you to engage with a purpose. So there, the likelihood of a trader actually converting is very much increased, and we've seen this with the brokers that have integrated CTrader Invite. As a next step, during this attribution, the data is transmitted directly and synchronized between the platform and the CRM. So partner and broker can do exactly the same thing. So they can work together on optimizing the campaigns. And additionally, a last point is that the CTrader Invite provides this very beautiful functionality of the partner's profile page. It means that each partner can have his own profile page within the app, with information like his bio, contact details, favorite strategies. So a trader knows, first of all, how he came in the platform, who brought him, and he can also count on this ongoing support. So trust is built. In that way, a trader is much more likely to stay and trade and generate volumes and increase the value for the broker. And if further the broker decides to also apply the single sign-on solution we have, all this can happen directly within the application. So no redirects. The trader doesn't need to be redirected to the client area. He can just register, open a new account, and do anything he wants directly in the platform. So this removes every friction from the onboarding journey. Yes. So I would be very happy to share more details with anyone who is interested. And the teams at Spotware, we put a lot of focus on training our clients, which are the brokers, and their partners. So we invite them to come to presentation with us where we can really help them, I believe.
Good. So getting this alignment of the visibility of the conversion is really important. Paolo, what strategies have helped you improve targeting, tracking, and retention?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and attribution of the effect of advertising is evolving rapidly. I mean, the demands on marketing teams have never been more strong. The demands by us as consumers has never been more pertinent. We demand personalization. If I'm willing to give you my first party data and sign up as a customer of yours, I want to be spoken to as a customer with communications that are relevant and personalized to me. So it falls into two main categories: reach, which I spoke about a second ago, so topping up that funnel, and engagement as well. So a lot of the brokers that come to us have challenges segmenting their existing audiences. So defining, the difference between a novice trader and an experienced one, having different communication strategies for one versus the other. A lot of the work that our brokers do around education for novices, are completely irrelevant to somebody who's a trader who is experienced. They want to learn about more advanced tips and tricks. They want to set themselves apart and know how to maximize their returns. So speaking to your different audiences, defining them by characteristic of definition of whether they're a first-time trader or they're an advanced trader is really important. And then finally, retention. What kind of a retention strategy do you have? Our data shows that it's nearly 5 times more expensive to acquire a new trader than it is to maintain your existing one. So If you're not you're not defining your traders into, traders that have come onto your platform, signed up, and have not made the first time deposit, and marketing messages relevant to them, or traders that have paused accounts and incentivizing them to come back and convert, or managing the existing relationships with your high value traders. If you're not using content strategies that align with each of those three cohorts, then you're using a one size fits all and you're losing out on a massive opportunity.
Thank you, Paolo. So this idea of personalization, it's very important. Yoli, what's in working with affiliates, what's the one incentive that really works to get that alignment that we were talking about, and making sure that you keep the partner motivated long term?
Yeah, I think over time, we consider Deriv an innovative platform, and for our partners, we want to provide for them more ways to earn. So, for example, for some of our savvier partners, we provide access to the API so that they can actually build experiences and have access to data deeper in the funnel, and be able to be a little bit more sophisticated in their marketing, because they can actually see conversions and optimize along the funnel. So more ways to earn. They also have the ability to become payment agents. So that's another way that they can earn. I did want to talk about, speaking to the higher advertising costs. Another way that marketers are using APIs is within the platforms themselves, the ad platforms themselves, having that server-to-server connection and enabling conversion APIs, so that as marketers we can see deeper in the funnel, not just the acquisition sort of top of the funnel that he was speaking to. So I think leveraging APIs works well even for partners, but even for us as marketers, to sort of counteract those higher acquisition costs.
Marketers are always thirsty for data, no?
Yes.
And for each of you, what advice would you give to a new IB or affiliate joining the space in 2025?
Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely, I would tell him to focus on delivering value, not just visibility. So as we know, the era of mass traffic, generic landing pages, that is fading fast. Today we have, as Yoli said, fierce competition, tight compliance, traders who are very well informed. So for an IB to actually be successful, he needs to focus on authentic engagement. He needs to try and be more like a mentor, like a long-term relationship manager, not just a static source of traffic. Those are past times. So I would tell him to stop using outdated tools, start using dynamic tools that are actually helping with the personalization that Paolo mentioned before. So trying to educate each trader based on his needs. Additionally, I would say an IB should not only try to reach, but build relationships. So try to foster this long-term mentorship relationship. He should diversify his offerings. So, as I said, with C-Trader Invite, he has many different products he can use to attract traders, and can also do that through all possible channels you can think of, through social media, through just copying, pasting in a message. So then he should just track what matters. So look at your different tools and measure the performance of each. So in short, IB should be advisors, not just referees, not just outsourced traffic generators. That's a problem. Thank you.
Do you want to weigh in? No? Okay, so we have still a few minutes. I don't know if there are any questions from the audience.
Wait.
Yeah. Thank you. My name is Ivo. I'm from Smart Signals app, so very relevant in panel here. You all mentioned obviously value-added affiliates, and it's partly due to upcoming or regulation changes for affiliates. My question is, you can't really expect affiliates to know about regulation or manage that part. So should you not think the broker should take the lead there and create some kind of official partnership framework where affiliates can safely work with the broker and provide value-added tools, apps, signals, education, and create a safe place for affiliates and for the broker to work together?
How can brokers help in that?
I mean, I 100% agree with that. We know this is a dynamic environment that's changing from month to month, from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. We just had a case in the UAE where, the regulatory body there has said that influencers are going to need to be registered. So that's something that we have to adapt to. But I do think the onus is on the brokers, as much as they are aware of what the rules are, to make those rules transparent to our partners, whether it's through content, whether it's through the direct outreach that our account managers have with our partners in that environment, as well as automating the experience and giving visibility as to why we need this information as we're sort of verifying identity, verifying their address, and all of those things that come with that experience. So I think it's, I agree with you. A framework for, can't be sort of a one-size-fits-all across all geographies. For us, I think the onus is on us to use technology, maybe even AI, within these experiences, and then also just the right sales enablement assets for our account managers that are in the market. It would be great if there was sort of a standard across the board, and maybe we'll get there eventually. But right now, we have to be nimble and adapt and embrace compliance. And so we have a very deep and knowledgeable team within Deriv who manages compliance. And now we're conditioning our partners to embrace compliance because compliance actually provides clarity. You've seen within the crypto space where you don't have regulation, then it's very blurry, right? And it's actually a challenging environment to market in when you don't have that level of clarity. So even a mindset change around compliance, I think, is also required.
Good. Last question.
Thank you. Just a small reminder, Paolo mentioned about 85 to 90% of the traders are lifetime is within 2 years. So my question is, without going to details about the expenses of the business, what would be on average your estimation of the share of the gross revenue generated on average client between the partners and the broker? For example, what percentage through the lifetime the partner gets on average, receives, I would say, the gross, and the broker? Thank you.
Anyone wants to answer that question?
As an advertising platform, I can't answer it. I think it falls to one of the brokers to answer the relationship between partners and brokers. But I think that it's important to realize that, from an advertising point of view, with performance in mind, and I know that the model with affiliates and with IBs are on a CPA basis. We run on a traditional CPM model, so cost per 1,000 impressions served. We are a performance company at our heart as well. So if we're not driving performance for our customers, they have the ability to switch off advertising at any time, which is great. But maybe you could add a little bit more.
I can just share that we have over time developed a commission structure that ranges from a CPA model to a hybrid revenue share and turnover model that at the top end is at about 45%. But it differs depending on what it is that those clients are trading. So I think at a sort of basic level, I think we just have to have more sophisticated hybrid commission structures and also maybe tiered programs with loyalty. I think you'll see more of that happening to drive more engagement, to drive more trading activity, and incentivize the partners to care about the client's trading activity. So I can't give you sort of a number, but I think at the top end, in our case, it's at up to about 45% of rev shares what we're willing to pay out.
Okay.
Not bad actually, 45% for the person who brought the client, I would say. But if I may, another question I would say is like, is this number for the past 5-10 years is growing towards the what side? Towards the like, it's getting more beneficial for the partner or towards the broker? If it's possible, I mean, if you have some kind of dynamic statistic maybe, because this is what, if I would be a broker, this is what I would focus on, I would say, and because I am an affiliate, I'm also focused on this. So.
We are quite out of time. I don't know if you want to.
I can just quickly say, we're not going to be successful if our affiliates aren't successful. We're not going to be successful if our clients are successful. So it is a balance, and that's what we hope to achieve.
Okay, we are out of time now. Thank you very much, Yoli, Yiota, Paolo, for your time and generosity today.
Yeah.
And thank you all for your attention. Have a good day.
Thank you.